Hello, we are going to read chapter 2 in Horrible Harry in room 2B. Horrible Harry, the Stub People, and Halloween. The day before Halloween, Harry planned his invasion. "It's time to bring doom to our room, Doug," he said. I knew what he was talking about. It was time for the invasion of his Stub People. "Do you need help?" I asked. "You could be my assistant." We put the first pair of Stub People in Song Lee's desk while she was up at the pencil sharpener. When she returned, she reached in her desk for a piece of paper. Harry plugged his ears. "I love it when girls scream," he said. "Look out for doom." I plugged my ears. Song Lee didn't scream. She didn't even jump out of her seat. Harry and I watched Song Lee play with the Stub People. She made them dance on top of her desk. Harry scowled. "This is an invasion," he complained. "My Stub People aren't dancers. They are invaders. They bring doom to our room." I nodded. Harry leaned over and whispered, "Next time, we'll have to catch the enemy by real surprise." There she is, playing with the Stub People. When Harry and I got permission to go to the bathroom, we stopped in the hallway. We slipped some Stub People in Sydney's sweater sleeves. Perfect, we thought. When it came time to line up for lunch, Harry and I waited. Slowly, Sydney put on his sweater, and we watched. Sydney would jump out and scream any minute now. But when Sydney put his arm in the sleeve, the Stub People fell through and landed on the floor. Sydney never saw them. Neither did Ida or Mary. They stepped on them. Harry kneeled down and scraped the Stub People off the floor. Gently, he wrapped them in his handkerchief. We buried them in the garbage during recess, and we gave them a farewell salute. "This means war," Harry exclaimed. "We've lost too many men. We have to invade the mainland now." "What's the mainland?" I asked. "You'll see," Harry said. Just before the bell rang, Harry put 2 pairs of Stub People on the teacher's desk. "The teacher's desk?" I asked. "The teacher's desk," Harry repeated. "Prepare for doom in our room." He sat up straight and folded his hands on his desk. When the bell rang, Miss Mackle walked in. "I can see Harry is ready for a class," she said. "Plug your ears," Harry whispered as Miss Mackle walked to her desk. "She's going to scream right out the window." "What's this?" Miss Mackle said as she saw the Stub People. Harry took his 2 fingers out of his ears. I did too. "How cute," she said. "Cute," said Harry. "Cute," I said. Harry and I gave each other a look. How could that be? The Stub People are the scariest creatures on earth. Harry put his head down on his desk and buried his face in his arms. Sometimes it's real hard for Harry to be horrible. "Cheer up," I said. "Tomorrow's Halloween. That's your favorite holiday. You'll be real scary then." Harry looked up. "Halloween." He grinned. Nobody knew what Harry was going to be for Halloween, but everyone knew it would be something horrible. Just before the 3 o'clock bell rang, we talked about it. "Are you going to be Frankenstein?" Ida asked Harry. Harry flashed his white teeth. "Scarier than that." "Are you going to be a skeleton?" Mary asked. Harry shook his head. "Much more scarier than that." "Are you going to be a vampire?" Song Lee asked. Harry shook his head again. "You'll never guess." Sydney said, "Oh yes, I bet you're going to be a canary." And he laughed and he laughed. "Just beware, Sydney. Halloween is tomorrow." Then Harry leaned forward and shouted, "Boo!" Sydney jumped a foot in the air. The next morning in school, everyone watched the door and waited for Harry. Then a huge witch came in. Everyone shivered. "It's Harry," they shouted. And the witch took off her green mask. "Good morning, boys and girls." It was Miss Mackle. What do you think Harry's going to be? Take a minute to make a guess. Not going to be a witch. Not going to be a canary. Not going to be a vampire or a skeleton. What do you think he's going to be? After we said the pledge, I looked over to Harry's seat. It was empty. Where was Harry? And then 9:05, a very big Count Dracula showed up at the door. Everyone really shivered. "It's Harry," they shouted. And then a voice said, "Happy Halloween, boys and girls." It was the principal. Then at 9:10, something slithered into the room. It was long and straight. It had a thin red tongue. "Ugh!" screamed Sydney. Miss Mackle walked over to the door and looked. "Who are you?" she asked. And the snake slithered across the classroom, and everyone screamed. Who do you think the snake is? The snake went sss. Miss Mackle started to tap her foot. "If it is who I think it is, then you're 10 minutes late for school." Everyone leaned in forward to see. A head popped out of the snake's skin and flashed his white teeth. "Harry," everyone shouted. "You're late," Miss Mackle said. "Snakes don't move that quickly," Harry replied. "It took me a long time to slither across the playground." "Well, you'll have to make up the extra time after school," Miss Mackle said. 10 minutes. Harry made a face. Sydney beamed. "My watch says 9:12. Harry glared at Sydney. Sometimes Harry is so horrible he has to stay after school. And that's chapter 2. Remember last time we decided to evaluate the chapter? I want you to think of chapter 1 and chapter 2. Remember the events, remember the characters. We have Sydney, we have Harry, we have our narrator, we have Miss Mackle, the teacher. Think about all those. Keep that fresh in your brain. So when we read chapter 3, we have all of that in our brain so we can understand what we're reading and listening to. I'll see you soon.